Hey, what is up you guys? It's Armando Torres here again, back with another unboxing. This time keeping up with the theme of last video, which is the San Martin Submariner Homage. This thing has been really great to wear as sort of an everyday watch. It's rugged, it's durable, it's got the sapphire crystal and the ceramic bezel, but we will do a wrist check in a little bit. But this is also going to be an homage on yet another Rolex watch. I know. Some people are going to have really strong feelings towards homages. Some people are going to be for them. Some people are going to be against them. I sit somewhere in the middle. I really like homages, especially when they're well built. But a bad homage could be really bad. And this comes from a company that has sort of a notorious reputation when it comes to their watches. But this one looked really good, and for under $100, I thought it was well worth the price. So let's flip the camera around, get a quick wrist check, and see what I got. Before we do, make sure to like, favorite, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. I will have more details on the giveaway coming up soon. I am going to be giving away 3 watches, guys, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And welcome to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. That will be part of the requirement for the giveaway. Like I said, more details are on the way, but that will be part of the requirement to follow me on Instagram. So anyways, keep an eye out for that. Make sure to subscribe, like I said. Now let's flip the camera around, get a quick wrist check, and get into the watch. So here is the box the watch comes in. As you guys can see, it was sent by Invicta Stores, the official website. A lot of people really sleep on that website. I have found some pretty good pieces on there. Indeed, I found my Glycine Combat sub on there for a ridiculously cheap price. They do have sales pretty often on there. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. Before we get into the watch, let's go ahead and do a quick wrist check. So here is the watch that is on my wrist. Like I said, it is the San Martin version 2 Submariner Homage. As I already mentioned at the top of this video, it's been an absolute treat to wear this watch as sort of an everyday style watch. It's got a sapphire crystal with a sapphire magnification as well right there at the 3 o'clock, which is really nice. I actually tested it. And ceramic bezel insert, great fit and feel, very accurate as well. I won't give an accuracy rating right now. I'm going to save that for the review for this watch. But overall, it's been an absolute treat to wear this watch on wrist. It's one of the most comfortable watches that I've gotten a fit out of. Some watches are hit and miss, but this watch just it took a little getting used to at first, but then it was just like, wow, I love having this thing on wrist. And like I also said earlier in the video, the reason for wearing this watch today was because we have another homage in our midst. So let's get to it. So here we go, guys. Here. Then on the side as well. There we go. Let's get this long one. Even the tape is branded, if you guys can see, with that yellow kind of cross, Invicta cross. But let's go ahead and try to rip this thing open. There we go. Tis an Invicta indeed. Let's go ahead and get into this piece right here, guys. Ooh, look at that. The instruction manual just falling on out of there. Guess it didn't fit in the original box, but is there anything else in here? Nope. Let's move this on out of the way. So yeah, the instruction manual was actually slipping on out of there. And here's the model number, guys, and I guess the date that I placed this order, April 29th, 2020. I have no idea if that's true. I would have to double check that, but there is the model number, guys, the 26111 or the 26111 or the 26111 or the 26111 26111. You could see it right there as well, 26111, and it feels pretty heavy right off the bat. It feels like, for the smallness of the packaging, it feels pretty heavy, which is nice. And then, bam, wow, unboxing, and they already they have this sort of display box, which is really interesting. Invicta, invincible in detail. Cool. This is the limited warranty and instruction information, so I believe it does come with a 2-year warranty since I did buy from an official Invicta store. It's actually a limited 3-year manufacturer's warranty, which is really nice. So let's go ahead and move this to the side and get to the official unboxing, guys. As you can see, it is a Speedway. It is a Rolex Daytona Homage, and it looks really nice, guys. Just from here, the finishing on that dial, that's actually why I waited to get this particular Daytona Homage, or this particular Speedway, because I had seen the Speedway line before. So I specifically waited for this colorway because I was contemplating getting the white or the black dial finish, but it has a texturing on the dial that made me really hesitant to pull the trigger. This one has no such finishing or texturing on that dial. It is really just a sunburst gray dial, so actually a combination of white and black, which is nice. I'm very into sort of neutral colors, and that's why I pulled the trigger on this one. It's a very classy sunburst finish in that gray sort of sunburst effect there. So that's why I pulled the trigger on this one, because it didn't have that texturing and it had a very nice finish on the dial, at least based on what I'd seen, and also the dimensions just really worked for me. Classic Daytona dimensions, but we will get into that in a little bit. And let's take it on out of this. So right there telling you it's probably a VD54 or VD53 movement. So this does have the date, which makes it the VD53. I believe that's a Seiko movement. Invicta. Okay, we know how to work a chronograph. I thought it was gonna say like Seiko or something. I believe it is a Seiko movement though. Invicta does use Seiko movements. I know that for sure on the Pro Diver. They use a Seiko NH35, a kind of a decorated NH35. So yeah, probably a Seiko Mecha Quartz movement. We will check that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and take this out of the packaging. A lot more practical to bag things up this way as opposed to wrapping the entire thing in plastic. Now, there is some plastic on the bracelet, which is a high polished center link bracelet, which I've just mentioned I'm not a huge fan of, but it's fine because the real Daytona has it and I knew that going into it. We'll get this out of the way too. It does have the Invicta logo engraved on the side of the watch, the opposite side of the crown and pushers. So just keep that in mind if you are trying to purchase pretty much any Invicta. Any Invicta Pro Diver or the Speedway models, I believe, do have that engraving on the side. High polished all the way throughout the sides, so the side of the case and the side of the bracelet. Brushed on the lugs as well as on the links themselves, on the edges of those links. But that dial, man, that dial is really pretty. I'm liking it a lot, and it looks just a preliminary sort of glance. It does look like that second hand is lining up with the indices. Yeah, it looks like it's doing a pretty good job of that. So let's go ahead and take it off the pillow, and we will grab some quick dimensions as well. So from the top of the crown, and pushers to the edge of the case, I am getting just under 40 millimeter, 39.62. Lug to lug, I am getting just under 47 thickness. It's a chronograph movement, so I expect some thickness here. Pretty much 13 mil thick and pretty much 20 mil lugs. Tapering down to 18 and back up to 20 at the clasp. So now that we got the dimensions, let's go over the specifications. It is a mineral crystal. It does have this sort of tachymeter black bezel, which it's not a real tachymeter. I did talk to someone about this watch, and they did mention that this wasn't sort of a real tachymeter, and that does make sense since the running second hand is on the inside. But I actually really like that. I really like when a chronograph has the running seconds hand on the inside as opposed to in a sub-dial. I just think it looks a lot more attractive. Some people disagree. However, it's just a personal preference that I prefer the running second hand to be on the outside. You can see 3 sub-dials in there, one for the seconds, one for the minutes, and then one 24-hour sub-dial, and then you have a little date at the 4:30. Invicta logo at the 12 o'clock, professional 200-meter speedway. That is another fact about this watch, is that it's a 200-meter water resistance watch, which is actually really nice. It has screw-down pushers, as well as a screw-down crown. I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew all of these. And then to run it, you could see that bottom second hand started ticking away there. And to stop it, you just hit the button again, it stopped, and to return it, bam, very smooth sweep back to its original position. And then when you're done timing everything, you could just screw that back in. There we go, everything is screwed back into place, and now it's water resistant up to 200 meters, which is really nice. Let's go ahead and get into the watch a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and take off the plastic and see the finer details in this watch. So now you could definitely start to see some finer details on the bracelet as well as on the clasp. The clasp is fully brushed with that Invicta logo stamped on there. And something interesting about this clasp is that it's a fold over, and then there's actually no push buttons. I think that's a new feature. You just yank it off, and that's sort of like some of the higher end clasps. However, this particular part of the clasp is a regular pressed clasp. But check this out. That's pretty good. That is a pretty good sound. Bam. Yeah, so if anything, the clasp itself is actually a pretty decent clasp. It's a very nice clasp with a bunch of micro adjusts and a very nice polished finish on there as well. So overall, kudos to Invicta for making a very, very decent bracelet and clasp under $100. This watch with shipping and everything, and I did have to get shipping because the watch was so cheap that I didn't get free shipping, but it was about 80 some odd dollars, I believe $85, which is pretty good considering that it is a pretty good company. It is a pretty good brand, and you do get that brand recognition and a very nice looking watch as well, that's bound to catch the light in future outdoor sort of scenarios. Sort of like a very classy summer watch, and of course you get that classic Daytona layout with the sort of indices and the hands. Everything is pretty much classic Daytona. And yeah, I'm really I'm really charmed by this watch. I'm happy that I got this one over the black or the white colorway, and I think that it's gonna be a very nice watch in the collection. Now, in terms of things that I don't like about this watch, the polished, again, I know that the original Daytona has it, but I do prefer brushed over anything. That crystal, if it were sapphire crystal, it would be so much better. Invicta doesn't really do sapphire crystal. I'm hoping that since Invicta owns glycine, you know, maybe they can start incorporating some sapphire crystal onto their lower end watches. I think that would be really good for them. And the reason why I think that they could actually do sapphire crystal is because a lot of these brands like Pagani Design and Parnis, the fact that they could do a Rolex Daytona Homage and put sapphire crystal and ceramic bezels on there. I don't know if this is a ceramic bezel, but the fact that they can do that, I think that Invicta can really step up their game, and Invicta would blow those companies out of the water. If they did a sapphire crystal, that would be a game changer. Maybe even an automatic movement, that would definitely up the price. But I think that if Invicta started offering, you know, things that are a little more upgraded, maybe a better non-pressed clasp but a fully machined clasp, I think that they can really start raising their prices justifiably. And you know, the Invicta logo, if you want to get rid of it, that might make a lot of more people happy, but you might lose some of your original fan base as well. It doesn't bother me, honestly. I know what I bought, and so I knew that I was going to get the Invicta logo. And then let me go ahead and pop the bracelet and we'll take a look inside. So I popped a link to show you guys the case back, but something I think is really cool and worth showing is the back of these links have the Invicta logo stamped on them inside as well, which is really cool. That's dedication. And let me go ahead and peel off this sticker. And now we have a case back full of specs, which says 20 ATM, 200 meters of water resistance, 26111, which is again the serial number, stainless steel, all stainless steel, Invicta Professional on there. You do get that polished side with screw down pushers, screw down crown, and a signed crown at that. So really nice for the money. Now let me go ahead and size this up and I'll show you guys what it looks like on wrist. So here's the watch sized up for my 6.5 inch wrist, and really great dimensions, guys. That lug to lug length is pretty short, so I think it's going to be pretty accommodating to a lot of wrist types. And this is a type of piece that is sort of like a throw and go. You know what you're wearing this watch for, and it's a really nice looking piece. I think it's going to be an excellent sort of summer casual watch. And with that 200 meters of water resistance, you could throw this in the pool and not even worry about it. So really nice watch. I am a fan. I love how this watch looks. I like how it feels, and it's pretty good for the money. Again, under $100. It's not bad. I would rather pay $100 and get some sapphire crystal on there, which I don't know, maybe they can talk to Pagani Design or Parnis and they can, you know, send them a couple of sapphire crystals. But Invicta needs to step their game up in that regard. But other than that, I think the dimensions are great. It feels pretty solid. The bracelet, it's not the most secure sounding bracelet, but it'll do. And yeah, I think that it's nice for the money. I think it fits really well, and you know what you're getting when you purchase this watch as well. So there it is, guys. I'm gonna do a quick Lume video and sort of see what we're working with here in terms of Lume. Now, Invicta is notoriously bad at Lume. At least my only experience with Lume and Invicta has been pretty bad. So we're gonna see what it looks like on camera, and then I'll leave you guys with my final thoughts. So guys, here is the Lume, and as expected, it's nothing spectacular. It has quite a bit on the hour and the minute hands, but this is not going to last you throughout the night. No Lume on the 12, 3, 6, or 9 indices, which is interesting. Yeah, it's definitely nothing to rave about, so I'm only going to show you about 1 minute. And yeah, there you go, Invicta Lume. So there you have it, guys, the Invicta Speedway 26111. I think it's a really nice piece. It looks very, very high quality. It feels pretty well finished, at least the body and case do. The bracelet, like I mentioned, is probably one of the weaker points of the watch itself, but overall I think it's really, really nice. And where they lack some sort of quality, it's nice that they were able to, you know, stamp the clasp, stamp the inside of the bracelet itself. I think that's really cool. And you have to give them some sort of credit for staying true to their sort of signature and also sort of giving people what they want, which is these sort of homage, really, really good style watches. And there's definitely a market for them, and overall I'm really happy with it. Another homage in the collection, but I am going to very quickly be closing up that door a little bit, in the sense that I can't really see myself getting too many more homages or too many more watches just in general. I'm going to make a video in the near future talking about my watch collection and sort of what my prospects are, what the watches that I am interested in getting next are. And I still have a couple of unboxings to do for you guys, so like I said, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Mondo the Watch Guy to keep in tune with my watch collection as we go along, as well as giveaway information for those 3 watches. Like I mentioned, it's going to be 3 watches that I am going to be giving away to lucky subscribers and followers of the Instagram page. So make sure to do that, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a video in the near future talking about my watch collection. I think it's going to be sort of like a podcast style video, so it's going to be one of these longer formats. I know some of these unboxings have already been getting longer and longer, but I hope you guys are enjoying them all the same. I'm really enjoying it right now, and I'm enjoying editing and doing everything at the end, so it's really nice. And like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying them. I will have more information on the giveaway in one of the upcoming videos. It's one of my planned next videos. I have like 5 videos that I want to shoot pretty soon, but I'll keep you guys updated. And like I said, I'm going to do a podcast style sort of talking watches. Of course, I'm not going to call it that for legal reasons, but I'm going to do sort of like a podcast talking watches style video, talking about my collection up until now, every single watch. I have like maybe 30 some odd watches that I have, and not all of them have made it onto the channel. So I would love to do like a long form sort of video, podcast style, and just talking about the watches that I have, then making a separate video of the watches that I want to get, because I have a list of watches that I want to get, and when that list is done, I'm pretty much gonna just focus on getting to that luxury end of the watch market. So once I have this sort of collection, and of course it might change over the course, but for now this is like the list. And I have like Watch Gang subscriptions coming in as well. So other than those watches that are going to be pretty random, I have one coming in for this month, for September, which is also my birthday month. So another birthday watch from Watch Gang. I'm excited for that. But other than that, I have a finite list of watches that I'm going to say, these watches, and then that's it. I'm going to be, focusing and saving for a Rolex, a real Rolex, or maybe a Tudor or a Tag, or even a Hamilton. But, well, actually Hamiltons are on the list, so I guess even in my list I am sort of going towards that luxury end of the market. But I am going to be focusing on that sort of higher tier of watches, so I'm going to be focusing my efforts on Rolex, Tudor, maybe IWC. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll focus on that once we get there. And I've been really focused on that. But I'm the kind of guy where I know that once I do have a Rolex, I am not going to want to step down from that. I'm going to want to progress from there. I'm going to be on another level. So I want to make sure that the watches I get up until that point are watches that I can have and be like, I'm okay having these watches. So I want to have a collection where I can say I am okay with having these watches. When I'm not wearing my Rolex, I will be wearing these watches, and then focus on like getting one watch a year or one watch every 2 years or 3 years, and etc. and sort of focusing my efforts on my other projects as well that I'm really interested in. I have a podcast right now that is only 2 episodes in. I plan on filming 2 more episodes pretty soon, and that's on another channel. If you guys want more information, let me know. But yeah, after that, guys, we'll see where I stand on watches. I'll probably get a few timepieces here and there, but once I get there, I'm pretty much just gonna have the collection that I have and grow it, only gradually sort of increase my watch collection, like 1 at a time or 2 at a time every year or so. So yeah, that's where I land right now. But thank you guys so much for watching. I have loved keeping you updated and updating you guys on where I stand on watches right now and where we're gonna go. Again, I'm going to make more videos in the future talking about these subjects, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, guys, see you later.